Hey friend, and welcome to the Camera Brave Show. My name's Marissa, and I help people fearlessly create content and find their own beautiful voice. In this show, we talk all about strategy, mindset, and confidence, not to mention the power of storytelling through my personal favorite thing, video. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's dive right in. Hello, friend. Welcome back to another episode of the Camera Brave Show. My name is Marissa, your video marketing coach, teaching you how to take stunning videos and feel confident on camera. This is episode number 42. And in this episode, I'm talking all about how to take a trend and make it work for you. So if you feel like you cannot stand trends, you hate the trending audio, you hate the pointing, singing, dancing, hang on a minute, because I'm about to blow your mind, because I'm going to talk about ways that you can take trends and make them work for you without feeling cheesy, cringy, fake, but how to take trends and authentically use them to grow your business and your social media following. Before we dive on in, I do want to ask a quick favor to those of you that are listening on Apple Podcast. If you would please subscribe to the Camera Brave Show so you get notifications whenever we release new episodes. And if you would also take a quick moment of your time and leave us a review, that would be so incredibly appreciated by myself and the Camera Brave team. It really helps us to continue to expand and grow this platform with every review that we get. So please consider subscribing and leaving us a review. It is the best way to help out the podcast, my business, and myself. All right, let's dive on in. The truth about trends. First of all, we're going to define that word. I think that people have a misconceived idea of the word trend. So take a minute. When you think of the word trend, what comes to mind? Do you think of TikTok dancing trends? Do you think of people lip syncing to really popular sound bites from TV shows and episodes? Do you think of a song that you really like? Do you think of a specific genre? What comes to mind when you think of the word trend? Here is what my definition of trend is, and the definition of a trend that you can use for your business. Instagram will tell you which audio it decides is trending. When you go to Instagram Reels, start your scrolling, and you will see in the bottom left corner, there is either going to be a little music note or there is going to be an arrow next to the name of the song. So it'll be right there at that bottom left-hand corner. If you see a music note, that is just an audio bite or music that is being played on that clip. If you see an arrow, then Instagram has decided that because of the high volume of reels that have been created with that particular piece of audio, that audio soundbite is trending. This type of audio can be anything. It's not necessarily genre specific, dance trend specific, beauty guru specific. I'm talking about music that will just be soft instrumental music or upbeat jazzy music, or sometimes fun pop 80s kind of remix, like Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That was just trending a little bit ago. And everything that you can imagine will trend audio wise, not just things you have to lip sync, not just things you have to dance to, not just things that you feel are too young or too old or too niche or too specific, but songs from multiple genres that you can make your own and that you can create reels for your business with. So my first goal here is to redefine the word trend for you. If you think of trend as dancey, cringy, out there, uncomfortableness, then reframe it as just that little arrow. That's what a trend means to me. When I think of trend, I think of trending audio and I think of that little arrow. And I know that I have seen that arrow by so many different types of sounds and that it's not specific to one thing or the other. So here are some tips that I have for you for how you can use trends for your business. First of all, going on Instagram Reels and finding that little arrow. That arrow is your best friend. Then start with instrumental music or a song that has singing in it. Start with a song. You don't have to pick a clip or a soundbite. but you can just start with a song. And the good thing about these songs is that they'll often be longer in range and will go up to like 30 seconds or so that you have a lot of option to choose from. So start with a song, instrumental or vocal if you'd like, and pick a genre that either works with your brand or that your audience is going to really connect with. So one of my favorite examples of this is one of the women in the Camera Brave Club, which is my monthly coaching group. She does bridal event planning. And all of her reels, she uses jazz music. So all of her videos just feel like love and happiness and relaxation, which are not always the feelings I associate with a wedding. The day of a wedding can be kind of hectic, crazy running around, but she does such a great job at intentionally showing the soft, romantic, relaxing side in her videos. So when you're picking music, pick a genre that works for you, for your brand, and that your audience is really going to resonate with. Then share your products or services. That's it. You can get on camera and you can talk about them. You can record a voiceover very easily through Instagram Reels. You can show all of the things that you have for sale. It's that simple. You can do anything with this audio, with this music, because it's music. You can show whatever you need to show. You can talk about whatever you need to talk about. There is really no need to feel crammed into this very short second window, which I know is being heavily favored across TikTok and Instagram right now, but there's no need to feel like you need to cram yourself into that window. Still allow yourself to create the content that is going to provide value to your audience. As long as you are creating content of value, feel comfortable adding in elements of humor or little bits and pieces of your life or get to know me. I mean, video is such an amazing way to really develop that know, like, and trust factor. My next tip for you, structure your video. Start with a hook, and that hook can either be something that you say or it can be text that's on the screen, but either way, it needs to be right at the beginning of your video. One tip that I've really enjoyed is phrasing it with the word you in it. So things you need to know about Instagram Reels, what you need to know about creating your wellness routine. So making it direct, that way the person looking at it goes, oh, okay, obviously I need this. Obviously I need to watch this. This is obviously so incredibly valuable. Tell them the benefit and the value of sitting through your video. What are you going to tell them? What's the benefit? Are you going to give them a tip for being on camera? Are you going to show them 5 different apps that you can use to organize your routine as a business owner? What are you going to tell them? That is your hook. Another thing that you need to have in your videos is a call to action. These can be done on the screen. They can be done through a voiceover as well. And some common ones that I'll see on a video, on the video itself, are see more in the caption, save this for later, get ready to screen grab. Those are some really common ones. Or follow for more tips, like and follow for part 2. That's kind of more of a TikTok thing, but I mean, I see it on Instagram too. Everything we see on TikTok, we see on Instagram. Is that not the case? Your other option is to write in the caption what your call to action is. Learn more by working with me, or visit my website for more details. Include a call to action in your video. And then the last thing in structuring your video is to design a cover image. Take just a couple of seconds and design a cover image. Now, if you have a good idea for what it could be when you're piecing together your video, then you could always just use a screen grab of your video, but make sure that that has text on it. Again, have that hook on there. What value is your audience going to get from watching that reel? Looking for a deeper way to connect with your audience? One way I stepped into sharing my message was through creating a podcast. When I started this show, I had zero experience with podcast hosting. So one thing that really helped me get started was how easy it was to host my podcast through Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout makes it easy to manage your podcast and puts all the analytics right at your fingertips. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform like Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Google Podcast, so you're able to reach your audience wherever they're listening. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Follow the link in the show notes to get started with Buzzsprout today. And make sure to use this link because you'll receive a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, which could literally go towards purchasing a microphone to record your show. Take the first step in creating your podcast by clicking the link below. Okay, my next tip for you is start to layer in other types of video. You could do a time lapse of yourself on a coaching call if you're a coach. I do a time lapse of me creating content all the time. I will literally time lapse me sitting here talking to you and doing this podcast episode and then post that to my stories. 2 content pieces done at the same time, 0 extra work. A time lapse can take something very ordinary and make it seem exciting. You could also do daily things that you do in your life that could correlate with your business. So my example here is another one of the women in my coaching group. She is a wellness expert. She talks a lot about mindset and all about being healthy and not about weight loss. So she's just got a really fascinating approach on the entire system. And she's been posting her meal prepping videos on Instagram Reels, and they've been doing amazing. She's not trend hopping. She actually, the woman that I'm thinking of specifically, she cannot stand trends. And she told me that. However, she's smart. So she started to use just the audios that are trending, not having to jump on any trend or feel like she's got to cram herself into this unauthentic, look at me kind of cringy moment, but taking the content that her audience finds valuable, putting it with a soft or jazzy or pop or whatever genre style of music, and then watching the views soar because you are jumping onto the bandwagon of what Instagram is already heavily promoting. Why not do that? You can literally make the volume 1. You have the ability to adjust the volume. So you can make the volume just the softest little back there music as you share an anecdote about your week, about your kids, about your life, about anything. It's more likely to receive engagement if you structure it this way than if you just leave it with original audio. All right, my last tip for you is to add text onto your screen. You can start off small, you can make it easy, but that is one way that you can incorporate a whole other type of video where you're sharing tips. You can do this every week. 5 tips for literally anything. People love those videos. They're easy to consume. They're more likely to be shared. They're more likely to be saved, and they position you as an expert. 5 tips for starting off your week right. 5 tips for drinking more water throughout the day. 5 tips for making your dog behave on your walk. We're working on that one. For those of you who don't know, I guess it wasn't so recently, 4 or 5 months ago, adopted a rescue dog. So we are in the stages of getting some training under our belts. I do not have a dog trainer in my private group, but I would love to have someone with those expertise that I could just pick their brain. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go find a trainer. Totally random little bunny trail there. But when you are creating tip videos, my advice is, and I know this is strange, but start with an odd number. This is something that I learned back in a broadcast journalism class when I was in college. All of the tips or articles that start with a number are odd. Something to do with your brain and the psychology that I'm not going to pretend that I remember, but I know that you see it more likely. 3 tips, like you don't really see 2 tips or 4 tips, but you'll see 3 tips or 5 tips. So those are good numbers. You could also do like 10 or 15, but that's a lot. I would stick with like 3 or 5, I think is a good middle ground. And finding the text on the screen that is the correct color for your business, and playing with some of the different fonts. I think there's like 9 different font options on Instagram Reels. So having a little bit of fun with your text and keeping it branded. So super important. Okay, so to recap, we have redefined what a trend means for us. We have decided that trends do not necessarily mean cringy, pointing, dancing, look at me, nonsensical video, but instead we mean trending audio that we can position in any way. It comes in all shapes, sizes, genres, and sounds. We can use it for our business. So that way our content is working harder for us because Instagram sees that we're jumping on this trend and it wants to promote it. So there is no reason why you should not be using this tactic in your next several videos. The only reason that I would say you could not do this is if you are attempting to create your own original audio soundbite that's most likely going to be encouraging or motivational that you want to potentially go viral and have other people use and share. If that is your objective, then I do think uploading original audio is the only way to do that. But if that is not your objective, which I think 99% of the case it's not going to be if you're listening to this, then use the music for the rest of your content. And we're going to start with instrumental music, picking a genre that works with our audience and our brand. And we're just going to share products and services. So easy, so simple. If you want to talk in your video, you can talk, you can do a voiceover, and you can make sure that your audio levels are here and that your music level is just at 1 or 2. Super simple, straightforward. We're going to structure these videos by having a hook, a beautiful, captivating cover image / thumbnail, and then ending them with a call to action, even if it's just follow for more tips. Then we are going to layer in other types of video, letting people see what we do on the daily, a little glimpse into our lives, doing time lapses of things like meal prepping, doing coaching calls, walking the dog. Honestly, we would love to watch all sorts of things. We watch people make like coffee. That somehow became an entrepreneur piece of content that I somehow see over and over again as entrepreneurs making coffee. You know what? It's because that's what people want to see. It's unique, it's different. And what are you drinking? What's your mug look like? Does she have a Keurig? What is it, hot? Is it iced? I mean, I don't know. It's just those little glimpses into our lives that we really love to share. And last but not least, adding text onto the screen. That way you are opening yourself up to do things like 5 tips for getting more likes, or 3 different options for framing your videos, or 5 ways to use natural light instead of your overhead light, all of the things. So this is how you can use trends to work for your business, no matter if you're a coach or a service provider, or if you sell products, or you're brand new, or you've been around for a while, you have no following, you have a huge following. It really doesn't matter. You can use these trends to grow and have more eyeballs on your content and just make more connections, because that is the ultimate goal. We want to make connections, grow the followers, and grow the business. If you have no idea how to create an Instagram reel, and the things like adjusting audio levels and adding text feel way over your head, then listen, friends, go to camerabraveclub.com and get on my waitlist, because in my private coaching group, I break down all of these things. I have trainings on Instagram Reels, on TikTok, on podcasts, on Zoom, on YouTube, on all the video things. And it comes with a private community where you can ask questions all day long. No question is too big or too small to post inside of this community. And it's a little bit of accountability to make sure that you're actually creating content and not just getting these great ideas, getting all this momentum, and then letting it sit here. Because that's what I want you to do. I want you to create content. I want you to share your amazing ideas with the world. I don't want you to sit on them. So if you're needing some more help, if you're needing a coach or a teacher in that capacity, then this would be a perfect fit for you. We have Q&A time. We provide feedback on videos. It's a community that I'm very, very proud to run. So you can go get on the waitlist at camerabraveclub.com, and I will send you an email the moment a spot opens up. Alrighty, friends, I really hope that this helped to work on the mindset that you have around trends. I hope that this was eye-opening to you, because I've seen this transformation very recently in my DMs with a client who was very against trends, but then found the way to make them work for her through working with me inside of my coaching group. And now she's getting thousands of views on her reels, and they're reels that she loves to make. You do not have to do the cringy things, the awful things, the things that make you feel weird and icky. I'm not dancing. No way. Nobody wants to see me dance. Like that is not happening. I see some video marketing coaches and they can dance, so they are dancing. That's great. I can't dance, so I'm not going to dance. Thank you. I barely point. Like that's enough for me. So do what works for you. Remain authentic to you, but take advantage of the trends, because there is a way to make the trends work for you. If you know someone who is either trendy or anti-trend, would you please share this episode with them? I would love to know their thoughts. I know some people are so good about jumping on the trends and they're on it. And that is just not me. I am not that person, but I am all for maximizing my efforts by utilizing trends. So that is everything. I really hope that you found a new light to view trends in throughout this episode. As always, you can find me over at Camera Brave on Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, my friends, and I will see you next time on the Camera Brave Show.